The Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
Financial Survival Network is presented to you by Regal Assets. Buy and sell physical gold and silver through your existing retirement plan, 100% tax-free with Regal Assets. If you want to include physical gold or silver in your existing IRA or old 401k, request your free investment kit, which was recently featured in the Forbes and Smart Money Wall Street Journal magazines. Call toll-free 855-678-6620, 855-678-6620, or visit regalassets.com. Today I've got a special guest, Gerald Celente. You've seen him all over the place. TrendsResearchInstitute. He's been making forecasts about the economy, about societal trends, and so much more. He's been spot on about this economy. And now we're approaching a new phase of the economic collapse that started back in 2007. And Gerald's on to talk about what he sees happening next. Gerald, welcome to financialsurvivalnetwork.com.
Well, thanks for having me, Kerry.
It's great to have you. And we've been following your predictions, your projections for many, many years. And you seem to have a knack for picking up on the trend. What's the key to recognizing a trend for the people who don't have the experience that you do?
Well, one of them is I'm a political atheist. I don't believe in anybody's political gods or political religions. I mean, it's just, kid stuff to me. And so that what happens is when people call themselves Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, liberals, they put themselves in a box. They have a fixed ideology. So they're looking at things the way they want them to be rather than what they are. So I just give a diagnosis. And I read, continually. I read international, national news, every day. But not only in terms of the international, in terms of economics, but environmental, business, consumer, social, always making connections between different fields, geopolitical. So it's very different than just being an economic forecaster or looking at politics or anything else, in that I say that opportunity misses those who view the world through the eyes of their profession. And most people have desk vision. That's all they see is from behind their desk out. And so that's what really makes us different. And again, I've been at this for 32 years. I'm not the same trend forecaster I was when I began. You keep refining your talents like any good musician or any good artist. You practice every day, and I practice every day.
Yeah, absolutely, as do we here. And of all the years, the 30 years you've been doing it, what's the forecast that you feel the most proud of and that you feel was really way, way ahead of everybody else out there, caught everybody else flat-footed?
Well, there are a number of them. And I wouldn't say proud, but I'm pleased that I saw them, in the sense that I predicted the 1987 stock market crash in January of '87. I said it was going to crash that year. Nobody was saying that. No one, virtually, that I know of. And from gourmet coffees, I was talking about that in the mid '80s, when people were still drinking stuff called Sanka that was out of a package, and Taster's Choice. And everybody was talking about the Taster's Choice commercials, and water being a big business back again in the 80s, when virtually no one was doing it. Years and years and decades probably before Pepsi or Coca-Cola got into the business. And so those kind of things, as well as, I guess the most damaging forecast that I ever made was when you could go to our website, TrendsJournal.com, go to the forecast page, and there it is. I forecast that Americans wouldn't be safe at home or abroad in 2011, and that I've been writing about terror strikes. I know some people think it's an inside job. I don't know. I don't discount it. The government will kill its people willingly, as they do, sending them off to wars that they can't win. So, I don't put anything past them. But what happened was USA Today ran a big story on it. And then when 9/11 happened, it got flooded by the media. Financial Times, New York Times, you name it, CNN, everybody. How did you know this? How did you know this was going to happen? I've been writing about it for years. It's called foreign policy. No, it's not.
Yeah.
They hate our freedom and liberty. How dare you say that? That almost cost me my career.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be on Oprah, The Today Show, CNN, all of them. USA Today used to run my top trends every year. No more. No more. You're either with us or you're with the terrorists. And look at Americans. Look what happened. Then they asked me to forecast what would happen with the Afghan war. All right, so that's an easy one. If Alexander the Great couldn't pull it off, if the British and Russians couldn't pull it off, what makes you think the Americans are going to pull it off? It's going to be a long, drawn-out war. The only thing it will accomplish is killing a lot of people, both on our side and their side, and squandering hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars. And I said the same thing for the Iraq war. Oh, you want to know how unpopular I was then? It's disgusting, the immorality in this country, how people could still tolerate this. You'll pick up the New York Times today. They have 5 pages of dead guys from the Afghan war, a losing battle. And what are they? And now the people that we're training are killing our soldiers, and hardly a peep. And all of these politicians out there, the Romneys, the Ryans, the Obamas, the Bidens, nobody's saying cut back on the military. You want to balance the budget? Hey, how about trying that one? Let me get this really straight. So somebody, if they have attention deficit disorder, this may kick it back into order. The United States military has not won a major battle since World War II. And they always make excuses why they lose. I'll tell you why they lose. Because they got a bunch of losers running the show. And they have a bunch of psychopaths called politicians that keep sending our men and women to get killed. So you want to balance the budget. Why don't you listen to what Eisenhower said? The military-industrial complex is taking over the country. So why do I see things that people see that others don't? Because I say what I believe, and I speak with the facts. I don't wave flags. I don't believe in my country right or wrong, my president right or wrong, my father right or wrong, my brothers right or wrong, or myself right or wrong. Because whether it's Jesus, Muhammad, or Buddha, the Quran, or the Bible, there is no salvation for the hypocrite.
Yeah, I know. It's really frustrating because the country was founded on ideals, and our founding fathers believed in something. And for a good 100 years or so, the country stood for something. And now we are this listless, declining civilization that can't figure out where to go, what to do, and how to turn things around. And people actually have faith in their government, even at this point, which is something that totally befuddles me. After the things that you've mentioned, and there's a long, long list of all the blunders and the costly things that have been done and the freedoms that have been lost, how can anybody in this day and age, Gerald, believe that your government is out there to protect you and has your best interest at heart?
Because the people, look what they've become. Look what they look like. We're the most obese country in the world. Believe the government? They believe McDonald's is food. They believe Dunkin's is selling donuts.
Oh, God.
I mean, come on. What, are you kidding? Look what it looks like. I mean, it's like the whales are all beached.
Yeah.
How did this country get to look? Look the way people dress. Look at how they behave. Listen to the music. Look, go to the movies. Everything is a cartoon. Everything's out of a comic book. The nation's become a comic book. You got a comic book president. You got a comic book vice president. You have 2 freaks that want to be president, in Romney and Ryan. You know, I always say this, that the people that become politicians are the same people that you couldn't stand in high school and college that wanted to be class president and head of the student council. Boy, you couldn't have gotten a better clown than Ryan. Do you know he was voted by his classmates, high school kids that are apparently a lot smarter than adults today, as being brown noser of the year. That's all they are. That's all these people ever. You knew them in school. The brown nosers, glad-handers, suck-ups, bow-downs, overly ambitious and insincere. Vote for me.
Yeah, it's really distressing. And, you've made that observation before. I've heard you mention it, where you dust off the pictures of your parents, your grandparents, and when there was a family event or even just Sunday, they were dressed to the nines and they looked impeccable. And I know for myself, I do like to dress up even still, but there's a trend of just dressing down to the lowest common denominator and just go to any mall or any public gathering. And I don't know how you feel about the body art. To me, maybe a tattoo here or there in a private area, but they become veritable billboards. It really is distressing to see how the appearance of the American public has declined. And then I was in Vegas, and there was a group of Chinese tourists, and I wouldn't say they were dressed spectacularly well, but they were all neat, well-kept, well-groomed. And I said, yeah, this is the difference. I'm seeing it right here, that this is just a reflection of the deterioration of our culture and our country.
I know. I can't figure it out. I mean, I agree with you with all these tattoos. It's like reading the funny papers. But again, I don't know why. I don't know why. But what I am saying is it's beyond that. That's part of it. I don't understand it. How people could have no dignity, respect. The people come to work here. Everyone gets dressed nicely. It's so nice to see. And then I look outside, and I can't believe the way people show up in public. But again, it's all tied together. So when we're talking about how could people believe the presidential reality show? Does this Obama ever work? The cat's always out there with his sleeve rolled up, and I'm tired of hearing folks. Hey, folk you. I've heard enough of this folk stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's a folk. Folks. And people buy the crap. Again, look what they eat, look what they drink. They actually think diet soda helps them lose weight. Yeah, keep pumping that aspartame in your brain.
Part 2 is available to subscribers of FinancialSurvivalNetwork.com. Go there now, sign up, and enjoy.